everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, daily motivation. What am I going to talk about today? So, I want to do a flashback of conversation with you all because I think the word for me today is going to be around choices, right? Now, y'all know I have cadults in my house, and sometimes when you're raising cadults, where they're like, kids that are adults, it's very ghetto here, right? It's very ghetto here. And you're dealing with navigating this terrain of they are children, yet they're adults. And then like the way of thinking is so different than our way of thinking, right? Or when you were raised. Like, so me, I was born in 1980, and my specific life experiences have provided me the power to make the choice to work hard, to be reliable, to be responsible, in most cases, right? But I do say there was this time period in my life where I was a complete jackass. That is just to be clear, right? Especially before the age of 24, before my, scientifically, before my frontal lobe took in place and everything else like that. Like, there's a whole bunch of factors around that, right? But what I do say is that choice is a real powerful thing, right? And it's just like, as a parent, sometimes it's hard to pick your battles or choose what's going to be your battle or choose what is going to be your choice, because your little kids, your cadults, can be little master manipulators, right? And for my motivation for you all today is that it's just to say to you and be very, very clear that it is okay to choose yourself. It is okay if they don't like you. Like, let's keep it real. It is really okay if they don't like you, because when it comes down to it, you have to choose you first, no matter who the individual is, right? So for those of you with younger children, my motivation is for you is, yes, to empower your children to do what they need to do. And for those of you who are like me, who grew up with parents who, potentially struggled with addictions, or you struggled with food insecurity or homelessness or divorce or all the things on the ACEs that contributes to you, like heart disease, like all those different things, don't add your cadults to the list, because your cadults will do nothing but drag you down as well, right? You just did your best. They're an adult. So let them make their own choices. And their choices should not bear that you have to live with their consequences. I think that's my message for you all today. And you can take this and apply this to all aspects of your life, right? Because because if we're talking in general, is around interactions with humans, interactions with people. You can look at the same conversation when it talks about your interactions with your supervisor at work, right? So say if you're talking about at work, this applies to you is because your supervisor or individuals you work with, they will make decisions that's going to influence your day, that's going to influence your life. But ultimately, their decisions don't do anything but really necessarily harm them, right? Do they actually harm you? Or how are they affecting you? And if they are affecting you in an impactful way, that means that's just a space that you really shouldn't be in, right? So you can make the powerful choice to leave the space. Right? Because no money is worth your sanity, no worth, you're not worth your stress. Again, not worth, things in your ACEs traumatizing you and you being set off. Like, it's not worth any of those things. And for those of you who know, I keep on saying the word ACEs. If you don't know what the ACEs is, please go look at it. It has to do with 10 characteristics that come from childhood trauma or when you're growing up, and how it negatively affects your life, right? And some of us are 10s out of 10s. Like, unfortunately, I happen to be a 10 out of 10, right? Which encouraged a lot of trauma-based behavior when I was younger. But, therapy helps you with that. Therapy helps you get out of that. That's why therapy is a powerful thing. But, but it also talks about how it affects you and it affects your heart and your body and your health and everything else like that, and honestly puts you in an earlier grave if you don't address some of that level of trauma and see how that trauma is affecting your day-to-day basis today as an adult. So that's my message for you all on this lovely, lovely motivational day is, you know, there's so much power in choice, and don't allow people around you to stress the hell out of you. All right? Peace, y'all.